up, world? It's your boy J Star back again. We got the first look at week 4. Man, we're moving through this freaking NFL. Man, slow down. Still trying to win some more money. You know what I mean? But we have here the millionaire winner right here, man, to go over. Had a good week, man. Had a good week 4, man. So that goes for what is that? Week 3, I won first place on the Thursday night football. And so far this week's first, this is my first, I would say, what's that, full slate? Sunday full slate, one where I could, cash a little bit, got some good little money back. Started off real rocky. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It did start off rocky because, I think a lot of people was loaded up in this Minnesota game, and it was playing out just trash at first. Like, wasn't looking too good. But the best thing about Minnesota is they tend to speed up after half. And it changed the whole game, period. Like, a lot of fantasy points came in that second half, but that first half was really trash. Then, this Miami game was just a crazy breakout game here. Good thing I did have some shares in Mostert. I'm mad though because I was hesitant on taking A-Chain. And I had a feeling like, man, like I was like, they probably gonna use him this game. I just didn't know how much. And it kind of worried me because I was like, I felt like it was other good plays. I did have Kenneth Walker a lot, so as you see, like in this lineup, you needed to have him here at least to win. But if you would have had A-Chain, man, you would have been killing like 50 something, 54 points, I believe, fantasy. On top of somehow you had a double of Mostert too, would have been crazy, man. I mean, Denver just got annihilated, But like I said, for me, man, most of my what did I say? I put in a few million makers up in here, man. They all I think they all was in the green, so I was cool about that. But my best lineup was in like a cash game. I think I got, what was that, like 50th place or something like that. So that cashed for me well. And then I would say what really got it for me this weekend was I went ahead and loaded up in the afternoon before that had closed up. And like the $3 afternoon, and like all of those just cashed in. I was so close to hitting first place on that, man. Like, woo, man, I almost had that one. So, but good thing I did, load up when it got like, what I would say, like all those games in the first part of the day with the 10 a.m. games, when they got into like getting into the second half, I was like, okay, what's gonna happen here? Because these numbers are looking really bad. Like a lot of the games I thought was gonna be, shootouts and stuff like that. It just wasn't doing it. And I'm like, okay, it looks like so far it's like these late games gonna have to come through. So I was like, let me go to them late games and just load up, and I loaded up, max out at like I want to say the $3 and hit. About like 15 of those lineups went in there and was like really close, like I said, to hit in first place in that. So that cash for me though, it helped me out, big time. Also though, what helped too was the late games period for even my full day slates, because had a lot of Thielen, had a lot of Tank Dell. I mean, I could have swore I told y'all in the video, final looks, everything, that these two had a good opportunity of doing really well. Like I told y'all, Thielen in the slot, Seattle was giving that up every freaking week. I'm telling y'all. So let y'all know that. I hope y'all, had him a lot. Tank Dell, I hope y'all had him a lot because I did talk about him too. Jefferson, I said something about him, but the only thing is that it really was Tyreek Hill. I didn't really think I mentioned a lot about Tyreek Hill, but I did say it's probably going to be a winning lineup surrounded around Jefferson. And then what I would say the only other, oh my God, who hurt me, I think, because I did have a little bit more than I had, Kenneth and Mostert, was ETN. And I had a feeling, though, that team, tends to, they want to throw more, than anything. And it was some cornerbacks hurt and some safety stuff like that hurt on Texans. So I'm sure that made, them want to throw a little bit more. Plus, they end up getting down. They lost the game. So that did not go well for, ETN sake and everything like that. But in this lineup here, we're just gonna go over it real quick and get into this first look. We got Kirk Cousins, man, with the stack of Jefferson. Then we got a run back of Keenan Allen. After that, it looks like everything else is a one-off here. So you got a 2v1. We got a 2-0 here with the Texans and Tank Dell. So you got like 5 plays there that was all part of like a stack. And we got Laporta, Thielen, and Mostert, Walker. Oh, my bad. That's another stack. So we got Kenneth Walker and Thielen run back there. So a 1v1 run back there. So then you only made it very, very freaking easy, man, because you have like 7 people that are all a part of a stack at least. And then you only had to go with Laporta and Mostert as your one-offs, and both of them were really in good situations, good spots where Atlanta gave up the tight end, and at least this team actually is going to use their tight end. Unlike, I don't know what happened with the Packers the last week, but ran that back again with the next tight end that played Atlanta, and it worked out, very well. Mostert, hit very well. I mean, of course, like I said, A-Chain did too as well. And he was playing a good, team that gives up the run and everything like that, running back fantasy points. So, pretty simple lineup, man, there, man. It's just like stacking all around, man. But let's get into, man, this new week, man. This week right here, man, I don't know, man. It don't feel the same as what last week felt like. I know that much. Like, these games are a little bit gonna have to really like dig in, man. Dig in really deep in these games. Like, it's gonna be narrowed down, I think, too, in some ways, because a lot of these games feel like defensive or something like that. It's like a little one-sided or something. But let's get right into this. We got Tampa Bay and New Orleans. That's not to start it off. My bad. Let me move that. Had that moved over the wrong way. So to start off, we got Miami and Buffalo. I know everybody's gonna want a piece of this game. Hopefully it is exciting. They said, I believe, that all the 2 times that they matched up last season was good games. So yeah, for sure. We already know that Josh Allen. Of course, you're gonna have Josh Allen with even James Cook should be in play, because Miami is a team that you was supposed to be able to run on. I don't know what happened with Javonte Williams really, but you got Diggs. Gabe Davis here, of course, but I would also say I believe Miami was supposed to be a team that you can get the tight end the ball, but I remember I didn't see nothing come out of Trotman just last week or whatever. So let's see, just make sure that real quick if I'm right. Yeah, it should have been some decent points there from tight end. So the thing is, this team runs 12, so it's gonna be hard to get this right because both of these tight ends are in. Basically both route running 2 for plays. I would say Knox is probably in a little bit more because his blocking is better than Kincaid. But yeah, so either one of these tight ends has a chance. And so far, like, I would really say probably it would be more of something in this range with one of these tight ends or something like that would be the plays on this side. But then for the other side here against Buffalo, man, looking like, man, I mean, Buffalo's been tough. It hasn't been great for quarterbacks really, but I'm thinking for running backs, this is gonna be a trip. Like, it's gonna be really hard now because I feel like they're going to use A-Chain for sure. Like, pass catching back and everything like that, I feel like that's where he's gonna benefit the most at. But I mean, after having that type of game, I mean, oh my God, it's just going to be hard to stop Miami, period. So it's going to be hit and miss, I feel like, on getting these backs right, because I think they might really split a little bit. But as for receivers, yeah, you already know Tyreek Hill, and then if Waddle is back, Buffalo's in for it because, I mean, it's been hard trying to just stop one receiver, with speed. But if Waddle comes back and is completely healthy, and doesn't get hurt or anything like that, yeah, they're gonna have a hard time, man. That little mixture right there, man. And then, like, with those backs busting out real routes, wheel routes around these 2, busting little slant routes and stuff like that, and the backs coming around from the slot doing wheel routes. It's gonna be hard to stop that play, man. I haven't seen nobody do it yet, and they haven't even had Waddle in there with them. So, yeah, it's gonna be crazy, man. But it's a good game right there. Those are the people I would look at so far, at least. We'll check back, like, final look once we know for sure if Waddle clears concussion and things like that. But we got Minnesota and Carolina. I actually like this game. Think this could be a pretty good game here. We got Cousins, of course. Madison is going to be in play this week again, kind of, because he was in play last week and he actually had his best game. They ran a lot. I know they were at home though. So that probably benefited a lot. And this game is going to only benefit him is if, since he's just a straight running back, he did get a lot of catches in his last game, which is great to see. That they did target him a lot. Didn't do a lot with it. Got like 8 fantasy points there. But yeah, in this game here, if they can stay in the game, keep a lead or something like that, then Madison probably has a good chance of maybe breaking one or something like that. But as for wide receivers, you already know Jefferson is going to be in play for sure again. This team has been doing a pretty good job of holding receivers down though. But it's just that this might be their first real matchup. Matter of fact, let me just check out because I'm like, who have they played? You went from Atlanta, who doesn't pass, to New Orleans has some good, receivers there. Seattle has good receivers too, and we did see Metcalf do well. So, I do believe it's going to be hard to stop Jefferson. I just know, period, this is probably going to be a tough matchup for them, period, for Carolina, just because you got a lot of receivers here that are all being a part of this offense. It's going to be very hard to hold all of them down. At the end of the day, it probably will end up being Jefferson. Besides that, I think I will lean towards probably Addison. Hawkinson is not in the best games for tight ends, but he is just a part of this offense so much that you just never know, basically, and it's just so much distractions right here for you to just hold him down by yourself or just with some linebackers. I don't know if it's really going to work out, but 6,500 is pretty high. I would probably stay in, a range of a Madison and a wide receiver here. And that's probably about it. Going to the other side though of this game, man. Let's see. So we don't know if Bryce Young is playing. Let's see what's the latest news. Expect to be back. Okay, so more than likely he is gonna be back. So we can toss him there. Minnesota's just giving up almost basically everything. If Sanders, like I said before, if he's gonna continue to get, this amount of targets, he's just going to be in play because, for Draftkings and things like that, we get them points for just catching the ball. 9 targets, if you would have caught all 9 of them, you would have had 9 freaking points, you know what I mean? And then with the 4 here, you're talking about 13. And then with the 1 there, touchdown, looking at 19 points that could have possibly been there, And then the little bit of rushing that he would have got and stuff like that. But, so he's just in play right now, man. He's just getting a lot of work, and his price is just so low still. So this is another good game, and he's a home back too. Revenge game for Thielen. Like, coming off of his best game, I know though the quarterback helped a lot. Having what I want to say, Andy Dalton back there, and he likes to throw the ball deep. That helped a lot. Of course, the late touchdown too. Thielen got, but that's back-to-back touchdowns for Thielen, and his price is still too cheap. Because right now he's basically the number 1 receiver. So number 1 receiver at 4,500, getting double-digit near targets now. This is still, in for him to have a really good game. We just saw Keenan Allen from the slot, same spot as Thielen, just light him up, the whole time just getting open. And, Thielen has to know this defense pretty well. He just was there, so he probably knows how to get in the holes and the gaps, especially with the young core of backfield they have. So definitely got to say Thielen's going to be in play there. Possibly, Chark is maybe a good play. Depends. I think more if Mingo is not able to go. I would probably say then Chark is going to be a play there. At tight end, definitely I would say Hurst is still a good play for 3,300. Even though that's not really something that the Vikings are giving up right now though. But yeah, so more than likely I would stay in the area of these 3 right here together. At the moment at least, like I said. If somehow though Young is not able to play, then put Chark back up in there for sure because he likes to throw that ball deep. I haven't really seen that yet for Young. They haven't really opened up the offense the same way they did open it up for Dalton in that game. So that's the only thing I would say. But that game seems like a pretty good game so far. We have the Broncos versus Chicago here. Let's see what we got going on here, man. We got Fields with, let me look at, we already know the Broncos got annihilated very badly. So far though, we already know they're giving up the run. I'm just wondering who is going to be that person. This is like a week where I've already looked over real quickly at the running back at least part of this week, and I'm just like, it's going to be a week where we're going to have to take like weird chances, man. It's like you either going to pay up or, and just trust the ones that get mad workload, even if their situation might not be the best. Or we're going to have to take some chances on some running backs we're not too sure on, like a Roshan Johnson here. I like the way he ran the first game against the Packers. And he did well, I thought, too. I thought he had decent fantasy points, like 17. But the 5 attempts was very low. The targets was high, at least. But then these last two, and then it's very low here. But the thing is, we just saw like 300-something yards get ran on for Denver. So I'm just wondering, is it going to be all Fields? Or are we going to get Roshan Johnson, for 4,900? The best part is that he is very cheap. Like if he misses for you and, possibly only gets 10 points or something under there, I wouldn't feel so bad, 4,900. But if he breaks and goes for what we just saw freaking A changes do, then man, I think he might be low on. Like I do think he might be low on. More people probably be on Fields if anything. So besides that though, yeah, his number one person right now to throwing the ball to is still Moore. I would definitely say he has to be in play. Um, Denver is seeming to give up pretty decent points to wide receivers. We saw it already for Tyreek Hill. Also, once again, no, Komet will be in play, even though for some reason his targets went down super like against Kansas City. Maybe it gets back up, and maybe Chicago's actually winning this game. So maybe that's what helps all their receiving problems and just offensive problems, period, that they're finally winning a game. So that would, bode well for all these players right here, I feel like, especially for the running back, because even if Fields has been running 100 yards on them and they're up big, he's throwing a touchdown to one of these, receiving weapon options here, then it probably goes well for Roschon Johnson to finish off the game and break some big runs. So then on the other side of this game, though, kind of sucks how Russell's playing so trash, because not like Chicago is any much better than them, like they're definitely, I think, giving up the run too as well. Yeah, giving up the run too as well. So Javonte Williams could be in play. It's all on if Denver is going to stay in this game or are they going to be getting their butt kicked again. So haven't really seen much from Judy yet. The targets went up a little bit. 81 yards. Could have possibly got 100 yards, so I would put him in there. But I saw a lot of Sutton. Yeah, 11 targets, 91 yards, still short of 100 yards, and still got to 21 points fantasy for 5,300. If you got you 21 again, that's still actually good. And we've seen Chicago, they've been getting beat by number one receivers, so I would say it probably would lean to Sutton in this game. Or it could be Judy. It just depends on who's going to get those targets, basically. But like I said, it's been more of the wide out receiver, which would be more like a Sutton. But Russell always also too, he surprises us, and we'll go to some Mims or some B Johnson too. So if you want to take shots there, you can definitely try that too as well. Besides that, let's get moving on to the next game. We got Baltimore and Cleveland. So this is going to be a rivalry game here. It's probably going to be a tough defensive game. I don't really expect much coming out of this game. If it did though, I would say Lamar possibly and Andrews is probably going to be the best plays here from this side of the game. Possibly though, I can still roll with Zay Flowers. They're just using him in so many different ways. I think that just helps them a lot. If Odell is able to go, I wouldn't mind even taking shots at him, because 4,200 is just super cheap though. It's just all about him staying healthy. But that offense over here runs through Zay Flowers and Andrews. So like I say, if it had to work out, it would probably be, those three right there with Lamar. And then on the other side here, we got Deshaun Watson. I believe, ain't Baltimore giving up? Yeah, they're giving up pretty decent points at receivers. So Cooper is at home again. So we got another shot at taking him. I mean, he hit last week, and that was without one of those touchdowns. He should have had 2 touchdowns, man. He would have probably been needed in every winning lineup if he would have just got. They would have gave him that other touchdown that he definitely did not step out of bounds. The ref got it completely wrong. So, but yeah, somebody like Amari Cooper is in again. I don't know what's going on. Elijah Moore just doesn't feel that good to me. If he was in the 3,000, he probably would be a really good play to me. But we got, let's see, Peoples Jones did a little bit better there. Caught a deep catch, it seems, to like there, about 30 yards. 3,800 I don't really mind taking shots there. But Njoku, I don't know what's going on. I feel like he should be at 8 targets a game. Like, that's like their second best receiving weapon on their team. I just don't get why he's not getting more targets. But so far it would just be a skinny stack right here, like just them two to me. Moving on, man. Pittsburgh and Houston here. This game here, what we got going on here? It's another one of them games where I was saying, like, picking some backs here, man, is gonna be crazy this week. Cause in this game, though, like I said last week, I told y'all Stroud, I really liked him. This week, playing the Steelers, they do give up a little bit to receivers. So possibly if he continues to play as fast as what he's playing, I know it kind of slowed down, I think, this week. Yeah, he did slow down a little bit because the attempts was very low. It's crazy that he still hit, though. But what it was the fact that he got close to 300, didn't get that 300-yard bonus though for us, but the 2 touchdowns. I kept saying like as long as he gonna throw a lot like that, like eventually the touchdowns gonna come, man. So I'm gonna still take shots on him because of the amount that I believe he's gonna have. He's probably gonna go back up to throwing a lot. The only thing is also it's a home game for them, and they should be able to run the ball. And I know Pierce has not been hitting yet, but this could be the game. So I'm thinking, yeah, taking chance on Pierce, as a low back. I'm glad his price has dropped. Maybe a lot of people won't want him, but this is a really good game. Pittsburgh does give up the run, so really do like that. Wise of receivers in this game, we did just see Devontae Adams kill them. I'm wondering, man, there's no really great route running receiver over here that I feel like that's as good as Devontae, of course. But I might roll back with Tank Dell again. Like, I just really like what I'm seeing from him. And plus, it feels like, he has enough distractions out there that he's probably getting a weaker matchup. So I still like Tank Dell. If you want to take a shot at Nico Collins, I know he failed everybody last week. Or Woods, you can also go that route too. But it would probably be Tank Dell for me. And possibly, I believe it should have been, man, not really, I guess. I was going to say Schultz, but he's dropping to 3,200. His targets went down a lot. Wish his targets would have stayed at like 7, because then he probably would have been a decent play here. So this is kind of where I would kind of stay at. Like I said, if you want to add one of those other receivers, you can. Let's go to the other side of this game, though. So Pickett, if you're looking at from the other side of this game, it's going to really depend on if the Texans cornerbacks and safety is still out. I believe I can't remember if Stingley is on IR. Forgot what it said, if it was just out or he was on IR. Because if so, though, Pickens is gonna be in play then. And also let's see, the Austin kid, he looked really nice. I like his speed and everything. He looks really nice. I can see him hitting in this type of game. Also, I think Freiermuth should be in play a little bit here. So 3,400, that's really cheap too. Like that price. And it's the Texans, and for some reason, like I said, ETN did not hit against them, but it had more to do with them being down. So the only thing is, I still like Jay Warren more than I like Najee Harris, but his attempts will probably still stay low, because they're gonna still roll with Najee Harris getting these 19 attempts. So I guess, like I said, this is just that week, man, where it's gonna be hard, because like a lot of backs that just ain't did it for us yet, like they ain't came through, but they're in good spots, like they're in really good spots. But it's like you either gonna go pick low, or you just go up to the top, man, and just take the best ones. So, but like I said, the lower, cheaper price ones are really in good spots. So yeah, Najee Harris, Jaylen Warren, one of them probably will hit in this game, because I can't see Pittsburgh actually being up. Their defense is pretty tough, but at the same time, if somehow Houston does get a lead, then could flip completely, to being Damian Pierce instead, and Stroud and maybe one of his receivers having a better game. Because we did see Garoppolo put up really good points against Pittsburgh too at that. So then we got the Rams and the Colts here. So let's see. Richardson, what's the latest news on him? Optimistic play week 4. Okay, that's good. Because if he's able to play, he definitely will be in play then for sure. Zach Moss has been hitting, I think, back-to-back weeks since he started. It's crazy. Like, the usage was ridiculous right here, though. Wow, 30 attempts, man. 3 targets. I mean, if he's going to get all that, like, he's going to be in play every freaking week. I mean, the Rams got a little bit random, barely a little bit, but, I mean, Mixon did pretty well. Plus, he got a rushing touchdown. If Zach Moss is going to get that many opportunities, then might be a little bit hard for them to stop him too as well. Pittman, let me see. Well, what we saw today from Chase was a lot of moving around into the slot, in and out of the slot and stuff like that. Pittman doesn't really do that. Man, so I'm really thinking it'd be more like somebody like a Downs, maybe a Pierce. If Richardson is able to play, I can see these two, possibly coming through. Pittman, like I said, stays on the outside. It's probably easier for the Rams to scheme up against him. But for these two receivers, possibly they move in and out of the slot and have a better game. But it all, have to go on if Richardson is playing or not. Because I believe since, what I want to say, Minshew's been playing, I'm like, yeah, Pittman's been getting mad targets. So, if he's going to play again, then, yeah, definitely it's going to be Pittman. For the other side of this game, though, man, I really like this other side of this game. I think if Stafford can just get some time in the freaking pocket, man. If he gets time in the pocket, I mean, he was missing Kyron Williams all night today, but hopefully he gets back on track with him a little bit because how many targets did he have tonight? Did it show already? 7 targets and only caught 2. Yeah, one of them. And then it started raining, I think, right? Or no, it wasn't raining in that game, right? It wasn't raining. He just missed like a really nice catch one that I felt like he could have been gone or something for. Then it was like touchdown ones. Also, I did not understand when it was on the 2-yard line. Why did they not run the ball at the beginning of the game? Like that didn't make no sense. So like it was just crazy reasons. And I know you're not really able to run, but if the pass catch is gonna be still this high with the targets, then Kyron Williams is gonna be in play still. But besides that, I definitely believe Nakua can get it done this week. 6,700. I know he didn't come through tonight. Only had one big catch late for like 37-yard right there. But I think the Bengals tend to what I want to say, they mixed it up a little bit more. They kind of pressed man a little bit on him, bumped him off of his route, a little bit. The Colts don't really have that type of backfield to do that. It's not as strong as like the Bengals are. Their line is strong, but their backfield is not. And they play a little bit more zone. So I think Nakua comes back into the numbers we've seen right here because both of these teams play zone. Lets him just run wherever he kind of wants to run to, So I definitely feel like Nakua is back on, where you can pick him again. And also, as we've seen, they're still using Tutu. How many targets did he get tonight? 9. Yeah, they're using Tutu a lot. I mean, he's going to be in play. Man, like this, I think Stafford's in for a really good game here, man, especially if Richardson probably plays because I think that puts more pressure on them to have to score a lot. This could be a fun little shootout potential game right there. And so then we keep it moving. We got Tampa Bay and New Orleans, man. Oh, my God. This is crazy because it looks like Carr is going to be out and Jameis Winston is going to be in play against his old team. Hopefully this time he doesn't get hurt, because playing Brady the last time he got hurt, even though they did win the game. And it looks like Kamara is going to be back. Suspension is over. So I wonder how much work he gets on the first game, though. He's a really good pass catching back. I don't really know about the run, because Tampa Bay, really does a good job, even though they couldn't do a good job against the Eagles. But the Eagles have a good front line, and I'm sure they was way more worried about Hurts running, and that hurt them a lot. So it let Swift just break big holes the whole game. I don't really expect too much from Kamara on his first game back. Besides that, though, when it comes to the receiving weapons, Tampa Bay has been giving up a lot of big plays to receivers. They blitz a lot. I'm sure they're going to blitz Jamie a lot because they're going to, hope for him to make mistakes like we know he does. But at the same time, he likes to throw the ball deep down the field. And, I mean, come on now. It's going to be Olave. It's going to be Rashid Shaheed deep down there. And I can see these two hitting, even if Jameis throws picks in this game. Like, I don't think that's going to stop him. I think also maybe Juwan Johnson gets involved because he's a deep threat too type of tight end. He likes to run deep down the field. But he hasn't been in play just because I would say, Carr has been more focused on, getting these weapons right here, the ball, of course, Michael Thomas and stuff like that. But I think he comes in play with Jamie, taking over the quarterback position. And then I would say on the other side over here, we got Mayfield. It's a hard defense though. So I really wonder if White keeps continuing to get the targets and the workload he keeps getting. He had 14 with 3 targets. Still good for a $5,000 running back, So definitely he's going to be in play still. Also, though, Mike Evans, we do know when he plays Lattimore, he tends to disappear. So if he does disappear, don't be surprised, y'all. I would think somebody like Godwin possibly comes into play. Maybe one of these other receivers down here, probably a Trey Palmer or something like that. I don't really think too much of Auden because they do a really good job against tight ends over here. So I would probably think in this field would be the plays over there. And then we're going to keep it moving here. We got Washington and Philly here. Big rivalry game here. I think Washington's lost 2 games, won 1 so far. But, they're going against the undefeated Eagles in a divisional game. It's going to be a tough game, I'm sure, because divisional games is always played very hard. But Hurts is still going to be in play because of the running that he's doing right now. Swift is just having crazy good games right now. Even though the Commanders have been pretty good against the run, what they have not been good against is receivers. So I do expect, AJ, Devontae Smith. What I do like about this week, though, even though it's kind of like, unsure on certain things because of the defensive stuff like that, matchups and things. And like I said, with the running back situation. But what I do like is so far weather is not going to be a problem, it looks like. So that's really great. We can finally probably see just a real good football game with no excuses or any, fumblings of the ball, because we've been seeing a lot of that, a lot of interceptions because of the rain. Just a lot of crazy stuff that, like A.J. Brown could have had probably 40-something points tonight, but he, dropped every touchdown. Like every easy touchdown that was for him. So expect him to bounce back, like probably trying to get a touchdown in this game. So probably does go off in this game here. But I do think, though, Washington kind of gives up in the slot area. But I got to check back. Like I said, with my final look, I'll probably get back onto that. But right now, I do know they've been giving up to receivers, period. I think I would say we saw just last week, Gabe Davis caught a touchdown, and then Diggs got over 100 yards, something like that, too. So it was decent games for both of the receivers. So it could be a stack right here for sure from Hurts' side. Goddard is just always going to be in play just because they are targeting him every game. Now back to giving him this, consistent 7 targets. So you never know when he's going to finally just get a touchdown too. On the other side here, Sam Howell coming off a very rough game. I believe it was raining though a little bit in that game too, but just a very rough game. 4 interceptions, only 170 yards passing and things like that. On his side of things, I mean, it's kind of easier matchup. The way the Eagles have been playing, haven't really been shutting down completely anybody. Even for the running back, I got to put him in there with B-Rob there. It's not amazing points that they're giving up there, but more at the receiver. And what sucks for them is that Logan Thomas might be out still, but maybe he will be able to go. If he is able to go, he is in a good spot. And then the receiver wise, we got McLaurin. I'm trying to think though, because I'm like, Samuel is probably in the best spot, but I don't know if his targets went down a lot. They did go down a lot. Since week 1 was 5, and it's been going down kind of ever since. Dotson, targets was really low. I know they kept turning over the ball, so they really probably didn't get the amount of possessions that they should have had in this game. But I would say Dotson and, of course, McLaurin is still should be in play in this game. They do line up with the better cornerbacks of Philly, but the thing is Philly does play a lot of zone, so they could get in those gaps, and maybe they'll get more targets as long as he doesn't throw the ball away too many times. That's it for that whole game there. We're going to keep it moving. We got Cincinnati and Tennessee. If Burrow can stay healthy in this game, it should be a huge game for him. Mixon, possibly. Tennessee has been holding down running backs, though, pretty well from what I remember. Yeah, it's not easy to run on them, so I wouldn't say Mixon. The only thing is Mixon has those random games where he goes for 50, and you never know when it's going to be. So that's the only thing I will say. You never know, and it could possibly just randomly be this game. So because this team is so, heavily pass heavy, and I feel like, most teams never know when it's going to be that game when they just want to go to Mixon all day. So, but besides that, Tennessee giving up slot receivers and things like that. They moved Chase into the slot a whole lot today. So definitely I would think could be a good game for him. Possibly a stack of Boyd in him. Because Boyd is always in the slot. I wouldn't even rule out Higgins, though, just because how bad Tennessee has been. But I believe the side where you attack is the left side of Tennessee, and that's where Chase ends up being at most of the time. So seems like a good Chase-Burrow stacked game. Like I said, Burrow could just stay healthy in this game. It seemed like they can definitely have a good connection for this one. Possibly Boyd even hits for 4,100 there. I believe tight end over there is still more than likely. I think he's going to be out. So, and I feel like Irv Smith would have been a better tight end than the ones that they have. Oh, my bad. I was missing Tennessee side of that game. Tennessee, though, it is looking like, let's see what we got. Looks like running back. So Henry, possibly, and Hopkins, could do well. I know he doesn't practice at all. So I don't know how much that's hurting them with their chemistry and everything. But besides that, maybe Burks, can do well, for 3,900 against them. But this team just doesn't really do well unless Henry is going to do good. So if Henry is not going to do well, and I mean not even just that, if they're not going to be up, this kills everything for real, because it's like Henry doesn't get all the rushes attempts that he usually gets unless they're up big. If they're in the game, like as you saw that was in this game right here, look at the amount of attempts he gets. But all the other little games, I mean, this first game right here, this is the first game. He usually doesn't usually start off great. Usually warms up into things. But this one right here that was getting blown out, and you see the attempts went way down. And since Henry is not really the pass catching back, he tends to like fall out of the whole plays and everything so when he's not doing well, it's going to be hard for like even the receiving options and stuff like that to do good. So for this next game, this is probably one of the best games we got on the slate, man. This Raiders Chargers game, hopefully Garoppolo is okay, because he coming off his best game. I was even actually shocked that he can do what he did in this game, like through 44 attempts. That's crazy, man. Like I tell y'all, that's what we looking for, man. It's 44 attempts, man. I knew Stroud was going to do well, even though he didn't even throw 40 attempts, though. But the first two games, we saw it, 44, 47 or something like that. You're throwing that high, man, you got a good chance of hitting some 20s and something for us, For 5,300 going into this game against the Chargers, who've been giving up mad points to quarterback, big yardages and stuff like that, too, as well. If Garoppolo is cleared in time, that would be really good, because we don't want to have to go with Hoyer. So hopefully, he just seemed like he was getting his chemistry together. If they can stay in the game and competitively and maybe have a lead, then Jacobs is going to be in play, I really like, I know he hasn't been doing well. I heard, though, he's just trying to get back into things because he missed training camp. So maybe this last game got him a little bit warmed up. I saw him have back-to-back 10-yard runs in that game. So maybe he's kind of get into fold of things and things like that. And he can break some big runs in this game, and they can stay in this game, be competitive, because I do feel like he could be probably too cheap. He possibly could be too cheap at 7,100. I mean, he started off the season near almost 8,000. I know he has 7,100 there for Buffalo, coming off of a showdown here, so we can't even see the price, of course. But I think, a lot of people might not be on him, and he still is in a good place right here. We saw freaking Madison put up his best game, and I know it was only like 18 points fantasy, but like, come on, Madison doesn't really hit often at all. And so for him to have that good of a game kind of makes me think of like Jacobs could finally break out right here. Besides that, though, JC Jackson was, I believe, held out of the last game, like a healthy and active. I don't know what that was all about, but if he gets held out again, Devontae was definitely going to be in play for $8,000. It's going to be actually too cheap, to the point that Myers will be in play too if somehow JC Jackson is not in play. Garoppolo, stacked with these two sounds pretty good to me. If, like I say, if JC Jackson doesn't play, because if he does play, then he probably will cover Adams. Not that he going to completely shut him down or anything like that. It was just that I think Adams finally got the targets, crazy targets, great targets. I mean, if he got that every game, I would take him every week. But we don't know for sure if he's going to get that type of targets. But like I said, it was all because Garoppolo threw 44 times that it was able to even do something like that. Myers also still had, 12 targets. That's great to see. Garoppolo will definitely be in play. Like I said, if we get final look, come Friday and we see JC Jackson possibly might be out or something like that, that will help me, pick this game even better, because I do think this could be a good shootout, even though it is a rivalry. Defenses tend to turn up. Chargers coming off their first win. I think they both got the same record right now, 1-2. So yeah, it's gonna be a real big battle right here, especially since the Chiefs is 2-1. So, but on the other side here, Herbert is definitely gonna still be in play, even after losing his, I would say probably second best receiver on his team. But if Eckler comes back, it's gonna be a huge game for him because they are at home. And then Keenan Allen's gonna be huge in play too over here. Playing in that slot area, man, I just doesn't really match up with any of the best cornerbacks on most teams anyway. So, and if his targets are probably going, my God, like coming off of 20 targets, just the same as Devontae Adams. This is crazy. I don't know what we're in for, man. Is it gonna be a 2020 game right here? Receivers, man, this is a crazy game so far. But I definitely feel like Palmer is gonna be a good play. Just knows the system, has chemistry with Herbert. Probably will end up getting, the targets that we usually see Mike Williams get. I know a lot of people have been waiting for Quentin Johnston, to show up. And this is going to be a game where he does get to be in the game fully. So I do expect his targets to go up. but I think he probably ends up with like 7, 6 range or something like that. If he hits for a touchdown, then great though. Like he would come through then easily for 3,700. But I do see Palmer because he keeps getting like big plays in most of these games. Like you talking about 30-yard long right there. I seen another play I thought I saw in the Miami game, but maybe it got batted down or something like that. But they keep setting him up for like big play touchdowns. So it just feels like he's going to be the one that benefits the most from, I guess, like Mike Williams being out. But Quentin Johnston will probably take that actual role of what Mike Williams does, just the streak route down the field and stuff like that, So I could see him being in play. Like I don't really mind which one you go with, because of the fact 4,000, 3,700 is just really cheap. But this game should be a huge game right here, man. Moving on, man. Let's see what we got here. New England and Dallas. Man, can't believe the way Dallas looked, man. Like that was crazy. Like I was not expecting it to look like that. So that just to me makes Mac Jones look a lot better going against them. Just how bad they look, man. I don't know what to expect now. Like, is Stevenson gonna kill them? Like is they gonna be able to just dump and run with Stevenson in this game? They already running a lot with him. He's going to continue to get targets. I know also this is another rivalry, revenge type game. I mean, for Ezekiel Elliott to get at Dallas. So I don't know. Maybe he wants to do something against them. His targets were really low. He at least is getting a lot of rushing attempts last game. I know it was raining though, so I'm sure that benefited a lot. But maybe he's gonna be the feed me Zeke game, like for real. Like you never know, man. 5,100, man. Cheap running backs. Tell you this week's gonna be a crazy one with the running backs, y'all. But so then we got what I want to say, Kendrick Bourne. Who else we got here? Devontae Parker, Juju. I'm trying to think like who's probably going to benefit the most. Juju's definitely going to be in the best position just because he's going to be lining up with the slot cornerback and stuff like that. It's just on is he going to get like 7 targets or something like that. Like can he get 7 targets? Kendrick Bourne's coming off of what 5 targets. I'm just really wondering because this team does a lot of 12, so it more benefits their tight ends. And Henry had 5 targets. Didn't hit last week, but like I said, the rain affected a lot. Like I said, it's been just affecting a lot of games. I still think Henry or Gesicki could still be in play over here. Also thinking maybe they get back to throwing a lot more to Bourne again in this game. They're going to test that Dallas defense after what they saw against what Arizona was able to do, So on the other side here, though, I believe Belichick is going to try to take away CeeDee Lamb. I do think Pollard should be in play. I mean, he's going to probably want to play hard since Zeke is on the other side, and he just took his own spot and everything like that. So I can see him definitely playing hard. Feels like a game for somebody like a Cooks, Gallup to finally come through. I saw some shots though he did take at Gallup a lot in that last game. So if he does that again, I can see Gallup hitting in this game. I just think their focus is gonna be on Lamb, but the only thing is since Lamb lines up in the slot, it does benefit him still a lot. It's still he can still get his because he's not lined up. It's hard to scheme up to slot receivers, man. It really is, especially when you play. They play some man 2 for New England, but they play zone 2 a lot. So it's just a little bit harder to scheme up if they make a full game plan around CeeDee Lamb. So I would still say he's in play. But if I had to think of somebody that was trying to stop, it would be probably CeeDee Lamb and try to take him away from them. So I see him having to go to other places like Ferguson's and the Gallups. And, of course, maybe Brandon Cook shows up in this game because that was just his first game back. So maybe he has to get, showered with a little bit more touches there or attempts and things like that his way. Let's see. So then we got Arizona and San Francisco. Another rivalry game here to finish out the late end of this slate. Purdy has just been balling. I know he came off his best game, but we do know also the Giants is pretty trash. Like everybody is tending to have a really good game against them, but he is going against Arizona, who's not that much better than anybody, and are giving up pretty good points to quarterback. So it's going to put him in play. McCaffrey this is what I'm talking about paying up because the prices are high for the running backs that we know usually come through for us. Arizona has been giving up, points to running backs, nice little near 20s almost every week. And so McCaffrey, is going to be a scary play because the game he gets 2 touchdowns, man, he's been getting 1-1-1. every week getting in there. But if he gets 2, man, it's going to probably be scary. It's probably going to be one of them games where you needed him. And who knows, because this could definitely be that game. They are at home against a team that's unsurprisingly, surprisingly, my bad, surprisingly been shocking people and playing them pretty hard. And I didn't even know Debo now is questionable. Wow. So that's going to be kind of crazy. If somehow either one of those 2 receivers is out, yeah, best believe they'll have a full game plan for McCaffrey, and he will be needed in every lineup. Like, they're going to be like what we seeing what the Miami Dolphins are doing, with just having only Tyreek Hill, and scheming up just still ways to get him the ball. They would do the same thing for McCaffrey over here. So if somehow these 2 are really banged up going in by the end of this week, we'll have to see. McCaffrey is going to be a huge play, man. But besides that, though, if they are able to go, I believe Arizona plays. I thought they played a little bit more zone, so it should be more of a Debo game. But I gotta go back and look at that and make sure that that's what they're doing right now. Because if not, then if it's more man, then a Ayuk would be in play. It will be all in be on what I want to say. If these 2 are out too, though, what also would help though is that it would be an obvious Kittle game in McCaffrey. That's what I would say. So if these 2 are really banged up and iffy on if they're really able to go and something like that, we would just lean to these freaking 2 right here and just call it a day for real. So that would make it a lot easier at least. For the other side here, man, I've been shocking a little bit on San Francisco's defense. I've been a little bit shocked about. I think people have been able to like run on them, which is shocking. So Connor will be in play. The passing has been there a little bit for receivers like points. So, Marquise Brown could possibly be in play. I mean, I think he's coming off of, is it 2 touchdown games for him? Yeah. So 2 touchdown game. Chemistry is pretty getting better with Dobbs and him. Also saw Wilson hit on a big play at 69-yarder. He's, somewhat involved in the game, but at 3,500, I can still see that possibly hitting. But besides that, let's see. Rondale Moore hit on a run, right? Like just a rush play. Yeah, targets was high, though. I know he plays in the slot. Could benefit from playing in the slot and everything in this game. This is a lot of low, cheap options here from this game. But this could be actually a good game, like I said, depending on. We got to look out for these receivers, man, because if somehow they're not able to go, like I said, it makes it a little bit easier, and you could easily run back that game. So that's it for this slate, man. Let's see. First, looking at this, man, like I said, I'm trying to see where am I going with my running back so far, because that's I think that's going to be the biggest thing about getting right for this slate so far. And I feel like I think I'm going to end up paying up and trying to find some savings somewhere else. Like if I go with McCaffrey, which is going to already, I think, make my lineup a little bit contrarian here. Do I want to still pay up, or do I want to take a chance on one of these cheaper options here to actually come through? I thought I liked it one. Yeah, I kind of like Pierce, so I'm gonna go a little bit low here, but I might end up having to take one in the flex. So let's see, what receivers do I really like this week? I know Jefferson is going to be good. I know Tyreek Hill's, they're going to have a hard time scheming up because I think Waddle is going to be back. And they're going to probably try their hardest to double him at all times, which is probably going to open up Waddle a lot. But Diggs, of course, definitely think he can have a good game. That game is just going to be a really good game. And, man, if Garoppolo is playing, I really do like Devontae, man. I like Devontae. I know it's going to be a high, so having Devontae, man, I might really think about Garoppolo here, man. Really might think about that one right here. Let me see, because we got Jamie, same price against Tampa. And you know what? I will take some savings there and take, where is he at? How much did he cost now? Shaheed, $4,000. That's not bad, because I do know Jamie's gonna take some deep shots, man. And it won't be no rain like it was for the Bucks game this, last game, because we in a dome, so we ain't got nothing to worry about with that part. They're going to definitely take some shots with Shaheed. So, and he probably will hit. Let me see. Is there any other low options down here that I like a lot? And I remember we got the Quentin Johnson. I think we got Palmer, man. I think I would take Palmer. At least I'm able to run back that Adams. So tight end though, man. like I said, it's man. I would just click Kittle, man, and plug that in and feel really good. But that's all gonna be on it. The receivers are not able to go. So, but besides him, let me see. What else do I like here to take? We got Kincaid or Knox, and Kincaid's coming off of what? Just 2 targets. I wish he would stay at like the 6 range or something like that because I think Knox out. No, he didn't even get out targeted by him. Let me see, man. Is there any other cheaper options down here or not? Not really, man. Man, this is whack, man. I thought we had some good cheap options down here, but like this is gonna be a pretty hard one. I wonder if Jawan Johnson should I take a shot there? Oh, my bad. What am I? I'm tripping, y'all. Everett, plug and play Everett. Like, I feel like that's an easy spot for him. With what I want to say, Mike Williams being out, the probably person that ends up just taking over will be Everett. So I don't know if I mentioned that when I was talking about that game, but if I did not, here it is because like he's definitely probably going. They line him out wide, and he could kind of do the same thing what Mike Williams did. You know, so if they don't trust Quentin Johnston, I think they would trust Everett. Plus, he's just in a good spot there. So now we're at 6,100 defense this week, man. I don't really know what defense I want to take this week. So let me see. It was cheap defenses down here. I mean, we had the Buffalo Bills hit like crazy, amazingly this week, man. I didn't even know they was gonna hit like that. Like that actually threw me off. I was not expecting them to do all that. I knew that game was gonna be a rain game and everything, but golly, like what happened? Like Hal just said, you know, F everything. Like y'all can have this game because he threw 4 picks and gave them what like near 30. I think 30 something points. It was like a whole wide receiver going off type fantasy points there. So this week I know they're playing Philly. I know Philly is at the top. So then we got the Bears playing because everybody's just picking on the Bears. We got the Denver Broncos, which they're going to be so trash. I don't know what they're going to do because he's just going to try to run on them the whole time. The Giants are playing they got like Monday night or something like that. So you can't really pick them. Who I've been liking to take every week is the Browns. They just been a really good defense. And you know what? Lamar's been making some mistakes. So I'm going to just go with the Browns here, man. Besides that, I might go with Garoppolo here. The Garoppolo Adam stack. Leaves with $8,000. See what we can get. We got Keenan Allen. Wow. Okay. That's not bad. Or Chase. Man, this actually ended up being really nice. I'm going to go with Chase for now, you know, but I like that I could switch it off to any one of those, you know, good spots right here. Like, it doesn't really matter. Keenan Allen and Chase, I feel like both are good. But I'm gonna go with Chase. Came off a really good game. If not Garoppolo, if Burrow could just stay healthy, I definitely think he hit. So this is a really good lineup, man. I'm actually shocked that I was able to get all of this, being that I paid up for McCaffrey to start this whole lineup off, but ended up pretty well, man. I definitely think I will put this in for the million, man, because just a very, very, very strong lineup there. Like, yeah, got a good stackable game here. I feel like with the Adams, like I said, if Garoppolo just clears, we're good. We're all in the clear. But we'll check back at all this, like I said, come Friday, final look at everything, you know, with the injury reports. But so far, right now, I like this. It's your boy J-Star. Man, good luck, man, this next week coming up. Stay tuned. We got the showdown, the top 5 for every position, and then the final look video. I'm out. Peace.